right, here we go again. I hope I'm not going to have to come back and redo this section here, because that is not going to be fun. This mist is not making me happy. So somewhere here we enter into the siding at Kelly. So again, Grand Trunk Pacific used an alphabetical naming pattern for its stations. Sorry, this is so frustrating. It was kind of misting this morning off and on, and then for the last little while it hasn't been. And it's deciding to do it again. And the problem is the wind is coming from the west, so we're going right into it. If we were going that way, if we were going east, we would be fine because the wind would be at our back. So Kelly was one of the earliest stations to be taken out of use. The siding went first, and then the station went. Oh my god, you just feel the mist hitting my face. So you can see another section of telegraph poles here. So not only is it misting, it's very windy. So it's blowing that mist. So you can see all these poles still standing. So typically what you see is on the, especially on the top beam, is right in the middle a couple of aqua colored CD145. I'm not a CD145, so I'm not an expert when it comes to telegraph poles or insulators. I know a few things. I've had to learn it. So the aqua ones right astride the main pole, and then clear Dominion 42s on the other side. We're climbing here. We're going, there's an incline here, and then we come down. This section here is a very straight section. It's like 18 miles where it's just completely straight. It's going to come to an end up here in a little bit. Okay, so here is the site of Kelly Station. You see this copse of poplars. This is really the only sort of high spot in this whole sort of swampy area here. So let me pull up here. Hopefully there's not too many dots on the camera lens. I'll wipe it once we stop here. All right, so right here I believe is where the station was here at Kelly. Hi, Leon. Just relax. Let me get my notes out here. All right, so as I mentioned, Kelly was an original station, and once again it follows the alphabetical naming pattern of the Grand Trunk Pacific. So James, Kelly, Larson. We are located at milepost 75.4 on the original line, 46.3 on the Graham subdivision. So Now, a little bit of controversy here. So a book that I have on Western Canadian Railway Station states that the station here was built in 1911, but the documentation that I have from CN, which came from Grand Trunk Pacific, and I'll show that to you, says that it was built in 1913. It was a Grand Trunk Type E station, and the station was in use here until 1960. So apparently it was decommissioned and apparently sold, or allegedly sold, in 1962. The siding here was taken out of use in 1970, and in 1973 Kelly ceased to be a station on the line. Now, the station, as I said, is right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you around and show you things. I'm also going to show you a map, and so you can see Kelly marked on the 1959 map, and it's kind of interesting because you can see the station here, and then on the other side we can't get there. That ditch is really wide and there's no way I can get across there, but it shows a couple of structures on the other side, so I don't know what was there. So again, there was literally the station building here, and you'll see there was obviously, looks like potentially some stuff in there, and then two things across the road, and then possibly another structure a little bit further ahead. So what we'll do is basically I will show you the maps. I'll also show you the LiDAR imagery, because on the LiDAR you'll actually see how, again, as I described, that literally, like, this is like a little island in the middle of the swamp, right, where it just shows up as kind of this elevated area, right, this little circular elevated area, and then it's all kind of low-lying around it, and then we'll show you some timetables. So let's go have a look around here. Let's see if we see anything. I did a quick little walk around already. I didn't really see anything significant. There's a depression in the ground there. And here you can see the bottom end of the telegraph pole. You can see all the rocks around it to hold it in place. Here you can see the pole and some of the cabling to hold it up. And you can see another one there. The cross beams are gone. There's a big depression over here. There's a big hole right here. What is this? Well, we got two flat pieces of concrete here. Right here. There's two big flat pieces of concrete. Looks like a piece of stove there. Here's another depression in the ground here. Again, as I mentioned, this literally, it's like this is a little island, and it's all, I don't know if they brought material in to fill this in, but it's like all sort of swamp around it. It's all low. Here's another depression here. I think I saw one can here somewhere. Ow. Yeah, there's the can. One can right there. There's all these thorn bushes here, which are not fun. Yeah, some more depressions in the ground here. This looks pretty deep down there. I'm gonna stay out of there. I don't know if there's some sort of burrow or there's something else in there. You can see there's something here. There's a big depression here in the ground. And then you can see that looks like a kind of a depression over here. So maybe this is where the station was. You can see that depression a little bit better. And there's one here. Here's a big pile. Okay. So this is probably where the station is. Look, the big pile there. Any more piles? So here, yeah, here's another one. There's a pile there. Yeah, this is where the station was. So these are probably piles for the station. Trying to see if there's this telegraph pole over there. No. The station building was right here because we saw this similar type of thing at James. Saw a bunch of cut off piles in the ground. Here's another piece here. Let's go look at that telegraph pole. So here's the bottom end, and here's the top end. So what do we got here? One broken Dominion 42, and just a bunch of empty pegs here. Anything else kicking around here? I think that's about it. All right, so let's make our way back out. It's weird, nothing, no debris, no cans, no bottles, nothing. So strange. You know, just lots of these, lots of depressions in the ground here. And it looks like there's rock. This might be some sort of cellar, or this might be the well here. Let's stay away from that. Oh, Jesus. All thorns in here. All right. So let's jump back on the bike here, and we'll continue our exploration.